Yo, guys, what's going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys Eden Zero Chapter 288 live stream discussion slash review. And I know, chapter came out Tuesday, and we're in the final stages of the manga coming to an end. And you would think, Lucky, like, there's not that much time left, bro. Like, we're almost done with the series. You gotta tackle this the day the chapter comes out. Well, here's the thing. Your boy has work, so he has to deal with that. And two, the other big thing that I want to address is after next week, I'm gonna be free. I'll be free for at least a good couple months from working. Well, let's just I'll say it like this. I've got a bit of a vacation, a bit of a free space zone, which means your boy will be more free to tackle more streams, more videos, more discussions, like just like the old days. It'll be like nothing ever really changed. And honestly speaking, what I'm really hoping to do within that time frame is kind of get things back to how they used to be. I know that's how I mentioned this year would turn out, but obviously, I've had a couple things that have gone on from February, especially like from April. To now has been a little weird, but definitely once, not even Tuesday, but like once this Thursday passes by, I should be back to like going about like how things used to be for the channel, and it's gonna be on a very slow process. So whether or not I tackle Eden Zero Chapter 299 what the day it comes out, I'm not gonna guarantee any promises on that. Definitely, let's say by the latest you'll get something Friday. For sure. Definitely by Friday of next week you'll get something on Eden Zero for 298. For 289, on the off chance I can't do the chapter when it comes out. It'll be very similar to this one. Although, again, as opposed to doing it Saturday, it'll be Friday at the latest for next week. Really depends. So if I get lucky, I might be able to tackle it Tuesday. But at the latest, let's say Friday for next week for 289 because the chapter hasn't come out yet, and it's gonna be interesting to see. But y'all aren't here for 289 or for a chapter that hasn't dropped yet. We're talking about 288, which this is officially now where the 5 chapter countdown begins. I know I talked about this before, where in the last stream I did, I mentioned how there was only going to be like a handful of chapters left before the series ends, and I'm not sure if I said it would end on 292 or 293 because I know there was an announcement that went about this, and a lot of people assumed, well, okay, 287 came out, that would mean we're going to be ending this on 292. But in actuality, the announcement was supposed to hit with this chapter, with 288, which meant that the series will actually end on 293, which, in my opinion, I think is much better. Because think about it like this: if the announcement hit, like if the I'm losing my words here. If the announcement for Eden Zero ending in 5 chapters happened officially with 287, I'd be a little bit more concerned, honestly. Now, again, personally, would I have liked if we had gotten, say, an additional like 4 chapters after this? Of course, sure. I would be more thrilled actually if we had like 9 chapters left as opposed to 5. But I'll take 5 over 4, in my opinion. With where we're currently at, having 5 chapters remaining over 4, in my opinion, is slightly better. So it is what it is. And also, going back to something I mentioned before, y'all know how much I love to reference Rave Master, but in this case, it has to be said. In this case, this has to be said. because when we look at Rave Master, going to volume 35, last chapter was 296. Okay? And if we look at Eden Zero, the last chapter would be 293. We'd only be off by like only just 3 chapters. That's it. We'd only be off by just 3 chapters before the series ends. That's it. So a little shorter than Rave Master, for sure. But what goes about in those in these last few chapters, we'll have to wait and see. And I know I've spent 5 minutes just talking about this whole segment when I could have just saved it for the end. But let's talk about 288. Right into the nitty gritty. So we got this nice cover page with Rebecca just saying A, which to me seems like it's a bit of a message. Very similar to what we got with Fairy Tale. I'm trying to remember if we had something like that with Brave Master. Did we not? Hold on. Let me look this up real quick. Because now that I'm actually just doing these chapters like just 1-to-1, it gives me a little bit of an advantage to like actually go back through and see. So let's go back to Rave Master. Rave Master 2. Because I remember Fairy Tale had this. I don't recall so much about Rave Master. As much as like I know like the story and its ending, the one thing that kind of slips in mind with Rave Master is like if we had a bit of a countdown of sorts. So let's see here. We have the answer. That's 5 chapters, right? So this would have to start at 291. Did we have anything with 291? No, we didn't. Okay, so because I'm looking at Rave Master right now, and yeah, nothing along those lines. So this whole thing really started with Fairy Tale. So going at that pace, we look at Fairy Tale. Let's go to Fairy Tale. Let's go to what was it? 10 chapters remaining. So this would have to be what? Chapter 235. I want to say. No, right? Hold on. Is that accurate? No, not even 235. This would have to be. Oh my god. All the way back. Yeah. Most probably. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. One quick second. Phone call. Gotta love the phone calls when they come through, but luckily this one was not that long. Anyway, so looking at Fairy Tale. Do we have a color for? I don't think we had anything for that one. No. I know we had the countdown going all the way from like 8, 9. I want to say it was like 5, 4, 6, like leading all the way up to like countdowns, right? That's really all we got. So yeah, in the case of Fairy Tale, what we got were like cover pages of like arcs. That was it. That was really all we got. We like got like mini little countdowns to of like reminiscing of like each of the arcs. Like I'm looking at it right now because we had Edalus, we had Tenro, had the Grand Magic Games. Then we had the Sun Village arc going to Tartaros, and then Fairy Tail Zero. Fairy Tail Zero is super underrated. I'm not gonna lie. Fairy Tail Zero. No one talks about Fairy Tail Zero that much. And Fairy Tail Zero is like, in my opinion, like peak Fairy Tail. Super peak. Um, then we got the Avatar arc, and then yeah, after that, we didn't really have anything. All we had was just a chapter title. We only just had Fairy Tale and then the chapter title called "You're the King." And yeah, so pretty much You kind of have something similar here too, although in this case it's more of a message that we're getting than anything. So Rebecca just says A, which I'm assuming is going to mean something in the grand scheme of things. Which, looking back on what this is going to mean is going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be fun to look back. And again, I'm 10 minutes into the stream and I haven't even talked about like what the actual content of the chapter is. So we're here with the Chronophage pulling the Big Bang attack, and Shiki just trying to do whatever he can. And the Chronophage says, "I will generate an equal amount, an amount of energy equal to that of the number that of the birth of the universe." I don't know where I got number from. Thus, everything in this universe will vanish and be created anew. Shiki, of course, is saying, "Don't do it. Doing that won't help you. You still won't be saved." And the Chronophage just says this: "I do not seek salvation." And Shiki again just persists, like, "Yes, you do. You do want to be saved. I heard you. You said you want your time back." And the Chronophage still goes on to say, "My time is not coming back. No, there has to be a way. You have enough power to make it happen." Shiki says, "Stop doing this. You have to save Mother, please." And the Chronophage, she says this: "I have devoured your mother many times. It is an unusual planet. I eat it to return to its planetary form. Then it has become mother again. Please try one more time. Then I promise we'll find a way to save you too." And again, this chick ain't buying it. She like, "I'm not interested." And you see what's happening, and Shiki's pulling everything in. He's like, "In that case," and this I think was the perfect thumbnail. Like, I love this dialogue. He's like, "I will make you interested. If you're not gonna be convinced, let me. I will be the one to do this. It'll be me." And you see her being a little stunted. But how? My power. Sorry, your boy's still dealing with a bit of a bad cough too, which is another reason. It's falling into him. And Shiki just goes on to say, "That's the power of gravity. It's not possible." And again, the boy still goes on to say, "If you absorb that much energy, your flesh will be destroyed." Well, okay, it's not Shiki that says that. That's actually the Chronophage. She's the one that's saying that. And Shiki goes on to say, "So what if it is? I don't care." See, this is the key thing. Because remember in Rave Master, Haru made the biggest, again, spoilers for freaking Rave Master. If you haven't checked it out, what are y'all doing? Like, go check out Rave Master, okay? Like, for all the things that Hero, I'm gonna turn off Discord real quick. For all the flack Hero gets for Fairy Tail, and look, I get it. Fairy Tail made him like super mainstream, super popular and whatnot. Y'all need to go check out Rave Master, because if you see what he does there, that is peak Hero, okay? Like, not Fairy Fairy Tail has its peak moments for sure, but Rave Master is like prime, vintage, peak Hero Mashima writing. And look, I know people have their qualms with Universe Zero. I know. I'm one of the few people that actually do see the merit of what Universe Zero is. And for all the people that do want to say, "Dude, Universe Zero kind of killed Eden Zero." I mean, look, here's the thing about Universe Zero. Has it kind of killed some of the suspense? And for sure, yes, it did. But let me address this point. all the sacrifices that came from Universe Zero, like from pre-Universe Zero, it's not like those events did not happen. Shiki, Rebecca, Hamura, Weiss. Okay, everyone still, remembers that. Like, a key example I want to bring up here. Freaking One More Day for Spider-Man, okay? This is not that scenario. Okay? Universe Zero is not freaking One More Day. Because One More Day was, in my opinion, one of the most stupidest storylines. Not only that has happened in the comics, but also just the ramifications of what it did. Like, Peter and MJ don't know jack shit about their marriage, okay? They don't know anything. So that's more of like an FU than I would say this is. Because at the very least, Shiki, Rebecca, Happy, everyone, okay, Labilia just started now remembering stuff, but you know, Jin, Clean, Laguna, everyone at least has retained what has happened in the previous universe. That's the thing. Everyone at least remembers what happened back then. And what they're all fighting for is a better tomorrow. That's the whole point about Universe Zero. Now, sure, like I said, would it be good to have those consequences still be in effect? Yes, it would. But everything leads. Here's the thing: all those events were necessary for us to get to this point in Eden Zero, and that is what Hero was going for here. Look, the dread, the suspense. I love that stuff about Eden Zero, and definitely that is what helps separate that from Fairy Tale, 100%. And going back to my point here with Rave Master, Haru made the biggest sacrifice ever at the end of that series, to an extent. Okay, and I feel like with Shiki saying this here, I don't care even if it costs me my life. That to me, kind of, what this tells me is Shiki's gonna make the ultimate like sacrifice here. Like, if it means the safety of this universe, the safety of the realm for all the characters, for like all the people I personally care about, I will gladly do what needs to be done. And I also feel like, in a sense, this will kind of be where Rebecca plays her part too, in my personal opinion. I think that's where this is all going to lead towards. But I could be wrong. Like I said, there's still 5 chapters left. But Shiki goes on to say, I will save this universe. This is the universe that has all my friends. Chronophage still goes on to say, you're just a lowly human. And Shiki screaming. And the Chronophage says, I will tear you. Well, I will tear you to pieces. And Shiki, crunching his fist, this lowly human is going to change the world. Again, using his gravity gear. And Chronophage is like, what is happening? I'm floating in midair. And oh, dude, like this was really cool to see again. Like Shiki using, black sky. And you get this like beautiful double page spread. And what I love about the spread actually, it's very reminiscent to the first chapter when Shiki took a Castellan. Like, if you see this image over here and compare it to that, it is like night and day, like parallels. Really cool. And then of course you see the Chronophage itself, how we've been seeing it throughout the series. And we cut back to Rebecca, and Pino's like, "Is that huh?" And then you see Ziggy too, like the Chronophage. And Rebecca's like, "Shiki did it. He brought the Chronophage." Hey, or I said, "Hey, I." That's what Happy says. And Ziggy's like, "It's going to eat us too. Let's get out of here." As a, and all of this is happening like right where Mother is. Okay, like Mother is like fading away, like ASAP. And Shiki says, I think I can be friends with you too. I mean, that ultimately is a part of Shiki. I know people are gonna say, "Huh, Shiki and his whole deal with friends," but that's been a staple of his character since the jump. So I don't see why people are like that, bothered by it at this point. Like that is par for the course of who Shiki is. Like at his core, Shiki just wants to make friends, guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, how many people out there in the world today, just want to have a nice, simple conversation, just be friendly. Nothing wrong with that. But you see this, Chronophage is a little stunted, and that's honestly where the chapter ends. Like, you see this final panel. The Chronophage passes through Mother, and that's the chapter. Which I do want to say they did drop the chapter title for 289, which we're not going to get until again Tuesday. But essentially, the next chapter title is called Reproduction. I want to say Reproduction, or at the very least, Rebirth. Is one of the two. I like Rebirth a little better, but Reproduction, hmm, is an interesting chapter title. Very interesting chapter title for sure. If anything, what ultimately what this means for the chapter, what I think is going to happen. Obviously, Mother's going to like return to what she was ultimately as the planet Earth, or at the very least, what Mother was. I feel is what it's going to be, and what I ultimately think is what's going to happen in the next chapter. We're gonna get some last final bits with Shiki and the Chronophage, and I think we're gonna get the identity. Definitely the identity of who the Chronophage is will come to fruition. Whether it's Rebecca from the future, the Rebecca that essentially, lost 20,000 years of her time because of what happened in Universe 2. Very similarly to Shiki, because, Shiki and Rebecca kind of made the ultimate sacrifice of like, let's stop these, like, let's try to suppress these bombs from going off. And that's what kind of triggered all these events from happening. Shiki becoming Ziggy. And again, if we're playing history in the same fashion with what's currently going down, then 110% future Rebecca, the Rebecca that lost her life, is the Chronophage. That possibility, I think, has definitely gone up now from not even gone up, but like since we've seen the Chronophage's true form, essentially. Okay, since then, it has shot up from like 40% to now 95. Okay, like I know this was a big speculation theory that went on for like a super long time since the inception of you know, not at the inception per se, but ever since like Hermit mentioned wherever Rebecca goes, the chronophage falls. It's like Rebecca has like the abilities of like time leap. The chronophage like takes away time. It's like that can't be a coincidence that these two things happen simultaneously. Happen on Lindard, happen on Gills. So it was like, no, these two have something in common. And that's where I think we're gonna go down to with 299. I said 299. 289. I definitely feel that's where we're heading towards. Is this reveal of who the chronophage is, her backstory, and definitely this is gonna get Rebecca involved in some way. I'm pretty sure on that. And it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be really fascinating to see what happens. And as far as my thoughts on this chapter goes, I mean, look, again, because we still got 5 chapters left of the series, this chapter is amazing. Simple and put, amazing. And I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait to see what happens because I know some people are going to say, like, amazing. Like, what do you mean, like, cheat? Well, keep in mind about this. This entire fight, realistically speaking, this confrontation started right here. End of chapter 283, okay? And it's gone on for 5 chapters. Like, really cement that in. It has gone on for 5 chapters. And I think for a fight that has lasted that long, pretty impressive. Like, this is not some Hamura and Aknoella shit, okay? It is not on that plateau of like, bro, we just brought in Aknoella and she kind of gets like dusted in like a few chapters. It's not like that. This one took at least 5. And for what Shiki was able to do, because Shiki did struggle here. It's not like Shiki was like, oh yeah, I'm good 100%. No, Shiki took some damage here in this fight. Okay, like again, I'm looking at this. Like even the last chapter, like Shiki's got some bruises and stuff, and he fought tooth and nail against the Chronophage. And next chapter is gonna be interesting. Like I said, it's gonna be super super interesting to see with what happens. And I honestly can't wait. I really really can't wait to see what we get. So with that being said, you guys, that is pretty much all I have to say when it comes to this chapter of Eden Zero. 288 again, chapter rating overall, amazing. Can't wait to see what we get in 289. And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this chapter. What was your favorite part about it? What were some of the gripes you had with the chapter? And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky G7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Eden Zero. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.